Good evening, and welcome to another cartoonish version of Diatribes. Now here's your caricature of a curmudgeon, voice of Doom. I know you must know these songs. I know you must remember it. I thought I'd put that in as a bumper music today because of what I'm about to talk to you about, which I bet you do not expect. Well, if you saw the title, maybe. It's going to be something a little more lighthearted. I'm not going to scream and yell. I can do that. There's plenty of time for that. There will be many opportunities to absolutely yell my frickin' head off. But I want to do something a little different. Tie some weird things in together. Now, the first thing I want to be pissed about is I watch the touts and the heads who talk. And it's annoying that they're coming up with all the stuff I already said. And nobody knows who I am. I've already complained about this, and I'll complain again because I don't promote, and I just want to hope that the world catches on to my brilliance, but it's not easy because I am an atom on a needle in a haystack in this platform. So unless I kind of try to put myself out there somehow, I'm going to be lost, but to like 3 or 4 people that I appreciate, because it makes it more than just therapy for me. Like, some people actually like what I'm doing. But it pisses me off to hear what I've been saying on the news all the time, and I know how much they get paid. We'll leave it there. I'm going to tie in a few things with the Democratic Party, which is a criminal organization which should be brought up on RICO charges and dismantled. The so-called Department of Justice and the overall justice system in America, which is broken, defunct, should be torn down completely. The Supreme Court might be okay. They're biased in their own way. So there's all a big popularity contest of who dies when and who's going to appoint who. No judge ever comes in totally a blank slate. You don't know what I am. Except for this John guy, Roberts. You never know what the hell he's going to do. And he may be the best guy because you really can't predict what he's going to do. He's hated by everyone. So he's probably the best Supreme Court justice we have. That's just, unpopular opinion. I mean, everybody has to hate him because he's ruled this way and that way, and he's probably broken a tie here and there in a way that people don't like. But maybe that's the way a judge should be. Now, I've been talking about the end of the world to my kids for many years, so they have mental disorders. I've caused them to become paranoid. I've caused them to become alcoholics. Because since they were in high school, I have told them that things are going to come to an end. And maybe not worldwide Armageddon, the whole planet, but I mean, we're going to run into hard times. I told them that you're not going to enjoy the same kind of lifestyle that I might have enjoyed as a boomer. For obvious reasons, if you go through history, we've gutted the economy, the boomers, for our own pleasure. And now the millennials and the Zers are going to have to pay, and they're all nuts because we told them that everything's coming to an end. Except for a few ignorant people who think everything's just fine. I don't know who they are. But I always used to use a metaphor of Wile E. Coyote, which, if you're my age, you know who he is. You know exactly who he is. He is a coyote. He is a skinny, cartoon, and he is obsessed with getting his prey. Has nothing to do with money, has nothing to do with actually eating. He just wants to catch that damn roadrunner, and he's been doing it since 1949. Chuck Jones and Michael Maltese were the creators of that character. They were going to call him Don Coyote after Don Quixote, and they changed it to Wile, W-I-L-E, middle initial E, Coyote. It's been that way ever since. First episode was Fast and Furious. Good for the furries. See, they were getting out there. It was 48 episodes, including the CGI computer-generated episodes. Most of them were with the Roadrunner, and as you know, most of them were basically silent movies with just music. Silent cartoons. They never said a word to each other. Me. That was it. Wile did 5 episodes with Bugs Bunny between the years of 52 and 63. So you're not going to hear any of this anywhere else. You're not going to hear it. He talked a few times in the old cartoons. Voice characterization by the late, great, and I mean great, Mel Blanc. The best cartoon voice in the history of this planet. And I can say that without a doubt, because he's a genius. He did all the voices for the Looney Tunes, in case you kids don't know, and I don't know if you know who Bugs Bunny is, or Daffy Duck, or Yosemite Sam, or Foghorn Leghorn. Who else can I name off the top of my head? Porky Pig. Petunia Pig. Other people. Tweety. Sylvester. If you're my age, you know him by heart. You know everybody. You watch cartoons, and it wasn't like today where you had 500 cartoon channels, and most of them aren't fit for kids because they're filthy. Let's go on. He was made skinny by the creators. He was supposed to be an allegory for desire and want. He bought his stuff from Acme Corporation. And even when you're a little kid, when you're 7, you go, doesn't make sense. If this guy can afford to buy all this stuff from this company, why doesn't he just buy himself a good meal and be done with it and not worry about this Roadrunner? Well, it was the quest. He was obsessed with getting that bird. The bird was a skinny little piece of, it was 2 bites. Wouldn't even fill him up for half a day. He wanted that bird, and he went all out to get it. What else can I say about Wile E? The reason he was able to buy so much from Acme, according to, if you dig into the weeds, his nephew had a unlimited credit account, and he was also being used as a beta tester for their products, which, as you can see, most of them failed. Now, I won't go into any more. There's some music in there that's from Smetana, who was a famous composer who did the Moldau. Beautiful. It's called Dance of the Comedians, from an opera called Bartered Bride. Now, it's just asides, but I want to say how I use that as a metaphor to the kids. And they'd be saying, America seems fine. Everything's good. I have a job. We can get things in the store. And I use this analogy of the Wile E. Coyote. Now, when he's running after the Roadrunner, and the Roadrunner veers off right, and he keeps running over the cliff. Do you notice how he keeps running in midair for like 50, 100 yards, 300 yards? He keeps running until he looks down. And I said, that's America. We're running in midair, and when we look down and suddenly see the bottom of the gorge, we will go, So I used that, and then I came up with another analogy during this fiasco. It's always the new fiasco, and now we have a new fiasco of the assertion of habeas corpus, the assertion of due process, the open and honest persecution of one person, and it's so obvious that it's getting ridiculous. Even the left people are starting to go, wait a minute, this might be getting ridiculous. But what's the analogy? Now, it has to do with the Dems and every single plot and every single ploy and every single little nefarious scheme they've come up with. I am going to analogize them with Wile E. Coyote. He orders something from Acme. It's a rocket skateboard homing device that homes in on nothing but roadrunners. And he's going to test it out as a beta tester, and it inevitably blows up in his face. He either ends up getting blown up by his own weapon, the weapon turns on him somehow, he shoots it, and it somehow turns around and blows him up. Everything he tries, a lever, with a rock, with a piece of wood, it lands on his head, or he goes over a cliff, or he runs for 500 yards and then falls into the gorge. Always happens. He's Ahab going after Moby Dick. He's Javert going after Jean Valjean. See how literate I am? And it doesn't work out every time, and I compare that to the D's, because no matter what they try, it blows up in their face. And this is the day of reckoning. This is the day, because it's August. There's 3 months until this so-called election. And they got to pull out all the stops now. They're going to come up with pandemics. They're going to come up with attacks. They're going to come up with people coming over the border and blowing up a city. Anything they can do to obfuscate this election, they're going to do. But they're going to start with trying to discredit Orangey. And listen to what I've heard stuff. I know the news isn't accurate because I've seen news happen before my eyes, and when I hear it reported, it's wrong. That's just eyewitness crap. The news is never actually really always right. They went into his house that they were going after the head of the cartel or something, or Hannibal Lecter. And then they went in and said, turn off your security cameras, which they refused to do. They said, no lawyers allowed to see what we're doing. Here's the warrant. Here's what we're looking for. And then they go rummaging through the whole damn mansion looking for crap. They go through Melania's closet. God knows, I know it's somebody that probably has a fetish. And they want to find some stained dress. Stained with what? I don't know. But any evidence that can be used later. They weren't looking for anything specific. They were just going to gather up a bunch of stuff, and then later they can sift through it and go, well, we can incriminate him for this, for this, for this, for this. So that's what they're going to do. Now they're already indicting him for something he did in New York with his real estate. And it's already obvious. You know, you say something's worth something, it doesn't mean it's worth something. He inflated his assets. He deflated his assets. He inflated them again and then Come on. They are reaching for straws, and everybody knows it. And when this fiasco, where they were rummaging through with crowbars, taking things out of safes, when they could have easily just subpoenaed it and gone through the system to get it, and they're taking cocktail napkins and menus, and they're taking private letters, and they're taking Martin Van Buren's letter that they finally found, that they can put that back. And then they're looking for anything they can find to destroy him. So we're going to have to destroy these fibbies. If we don't destroy them by like September or October, then I say give up on this United States. So isn't that interesting how I tied in Wile E. Coyote with our current situation? I'm the only guy that did that. You can find somebody else on YouTube that did that. I dare you. I like this one. It's a little lighthearted. Enjoy the day. I'm happy today.